Hey my friends, welcome back to another episode of the Year of Cooking Canuck. Once again, thank you so very kindly for spending a part of your day with me. A big hello and welcome to all of my new subs and a welcome back to my current subs. Guys, on today's segment of Memories of Macedonia, I'm going to be showing you a very old traditional recipe. This is something I had in a traditional restaurant in Ohrid, and it's called Meso Vo Grne. And what that basically is meat in a pot. Now, if you are a vegetarian, I still recommend that you make this recipe, and I'll give you some alternatives. So guys, this is a rustic meal, as most Macedonian dishes are, full of flavor. Without further ado, let's get in the kitchen and make Macedonian Meso Vo Grne. Hey gang, welcome to the kitchen countertop. As usual, all of my amounts and what I'm using will be below in the description bar. Just click on show more. So what you have in front of you is an array of beautiful vegetables. I have some mushrooms, tomato, beautiful peppers, an onion, and some garlic. Now, everything is washed. Guys, I've said this before many times, I'll tell you again. Wash your mushrooms. They grow in poo. Alright? Never mind this just wiping them. Wash them. People say not to wash them because they're going to get too much liquid in them. Puh. Guys, you're just washing them. They're not going for a bath. They're not going for a swim. So please wash your mushrooms. So the first thing I want to do, guys, is I want to start prepping our vegetables before I put meat on here. So I'm going to just roughly chop up my mushrooms, tomatoes, peppers, and onions, and when that's ready, I'll bring you back. Hey guys, so I have all of my veggies prepped. In here I have my peppers and onions. The onion I was using, half of it was rotten, so I had to use a half of another large one. It's all good, guys. It happens. It's real life. Here I have my mushrooms, and what I simply did with the mushrooms is cut off the woodsy end, and then simply just cut them in halves. If they were larger, I would quarter them, but in halves is fine, guys. To my pepper, and guys, this is what we call a banana pepper. If you can't find it, you can use a shepherd pepper, any pepper that you like. And I'm just going to simply take out the little rib and seed. You don't really necessarily have to if you're using sweet peppers. So that pops out. And then again, just in some large chunks, like so. My tomatoes, pretty much the same, guys. I just cut in half, in half, in half, and then down the center. My garlic is roughly chopped, guys. I didn't finely mince it because this is a rustic dish and it's gonna stew, so you're not going to, you know, have a very, very pungent garlic piece in your mouth. But we are gonna brown them off a little bit, you'll see. So this is all my veg prepped, guys. I'm gonna set this aside and we'll carry on with the meat portion. Alright guys, what I have here is a half a kilo each of pork and beef, which I had my butcher pre-chopped for me. I'm going to give it the once over just to make sure everything is separated, and if he left some large chunks, I want to cut those. Like this one here, guys, is fairly big. You want these in bite-sized pieces. Very good bite-sized pieces. I watched him do this, and I mean, in a busy butcher shop, he wants you in and out. So And it doesn't matter if they get mixed up. So guys, I'm going to continue doing this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply season with some Himalayan pink sea salt, or Himalayan pink salt. You can use sea salt, and some cracked black pepper, and then we'll head to the stove, guys. Hey guys, welcome to this stove top. So what I have in my deep skillet here is some vegetable oil, which is heating up. So at this point in time, what I want to go ahead and do is start adding our meat. You can put them all in. It doesn't matter because we just want to get some color. So go ahead and feel free to crowd the pan in this instance. I have my heat on a medium-high. I do want to get a bit of a, seal on the meat. Turn that up a bit. There's only salt and pepper at this point, guys. We'll be adding more flavor elements as we go. So go ahead and saute your meat until it gets color, and that would be about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll bring you back and show you what I do next. Alright guys, my beef and the pork has some color on it. You want to get this going until there's no more pink that you can see. At this time you can go ahead and add your peppers and onions. I'm going to go ahead and also season with some salt and pepper. So we're going to season in layers, guys. Salt and pepper, I always say, guys, are, again, to your taste. But you want to season. So now we're just going to go ahead and mix this up. And what we're looking for are the onions and the peppers to start getting soft. You don't want them mushy, but you don't want them very crisp either at this point. So I'll bring you back and show you what I'm looking for at that point. Hey guys, you want to smell this place right now. Woo! So my peppers and onions are soft, as you can see. They don't snap. So at this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do is add about half to maybe 3/4 of my garlic. And this is where we want to get a little bit of the garlic going so it doesn't have a completely raw taste. Let this go for another 3 minutes, I'd say, and then we'll continue with the next step. Alright guys, I let my garlic go for about 3 minutes or so. So at this point what I'm going to go ahead and do is give it a little bit more seasoning because we're going to add the other veggies. What I have here is some Vegeta, or if you don't have Vegeta you can use a vegetable stock cube crushed up. I have some really nice sweet paprika and bukovska pipa, which is the hot paprika crushed chili flakes. So that's all going to go in. I'll put what I'm using below, guys, but again, seasonings are really to your taste. So once you have this incorporated pretty well, we can go ahead and add our mushrooms. Mushrooms always look like a lot in the beginning, but they do shrink down, guys. And we're not going to let this go long at this point, guys. We're only going to basically get these mixed together, and then we're going to remove this from the heat so we can continue to our next step. In go your tomatoes, juices and all, guys. Gently give this a stir, You can place a lid on here if you like, and let this go, guys, no more than, I'd say, 5, possibly 10 minutes, but you don't want to get this into a soup, definitely, because it's going to cook further, guys. We just want to have all the flavors at this point meet each other. So what I'll do is I'll bring you back when this is all ready to be taken off the stove top. Alright guys, as you can see, 5 minutes in, mushrooms are already starting to reduce. The tomatoes are starting to break down. So at this point, I want to turn my heat off. If you're on a gas range, you can leave it there because once the gas is off, it's off. If you're on an electric range, move your pan away. Alright guys, so I'm going to let this cool slightly and let's get on with the next step. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and let my mixture of my meat and veggies cool slightly. So what I have done here is I've roughly minced some parsley. So I'm going to add that to our mix. I'll reserve a little bit back for garnish. And then the reserved garlic, I'm going to add that back in to our mix as well, just to give it a more fresh taste. So I'll just go ahead and mix that up in here. The reason I'm adding this in now, guys, is like I said, this is going to cook further. So it just gives it that last minute before it goes in the oven freshness. Oh, it smells so good in here, guys. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to repeat the seasoning that we already have in there. So as a recap, there's Vegeta, there's some paprika, and bukovska pepper, which is the hot chili flakes with paprika. So in that goes, to which I'm going to add a bit of flour. This will be our thickening agent. Give that a whisk. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cup of water and a cup of white wine. Guys, use a wine you would drink, okay? If you wouldn't drink it, why would you cook with it, right? So we're going to give this a whisk. And we're going to go ahead and add that to our mixture. Like so. And now it's time to place this in our grne. Hey guys, this is my grne, or clay pot. Now this was lovingly bought for me by my cousin's beautiful wife, Boyama. Follow Nogo Boyama. So I really wanted to use this. Guys, I can appreciate that everybody has an earthenware jug or pot such as this. If you don't, you can place it in any earthenware dish you have. If you don't even have earthenware, please still do the recipe. Use your favorite casserole dish that has a lid, okay? If you're using earthenware for the very first time, you need to soak the complete thing in water for a minimum of 6 hours. I do mine overnight. So this is her maiden voyage. So, carefully, we'll go ahead and start filling our grne. You may not want to put this all the way to the top because you want to allow for some, bubbling and boiling. If you find yourself with extra mixture, that's fine. You can put it in another dish and bake that off. So once I have my grne filled, what I'm going to do is place this into a moderate oven at 180 Celsius. And you want to make sure you get some of the broth as well. So guys, go ahead and continue filling your grne as best as you could. If you wanted to, you could hermetically seal this with a braid of dough around the seal. I don't really think it's necessary. They say it traps the flavor, but if you're cooking in an earthenware pot, guys, that flavor is staying there anyways. So that looks great. I've left a little bit of head space. The lid goes on, and this is going to go into the oven at 180°C for about 40 minutes. You might want to check on it in between, and then I'll bring you back when it's all done. Alright guys, Meso Vo Grne is all done. I've served myself up some here, and I've put the lid back on to keep it warm. What we do is we put the serving spoon through the handle of the pot here. I'll put some more in there. Oh, the mushrooms, and I can smell the peppers and the meat. Oh, so lovely. So lovely. It smells so good and tempting. Like I said, keep the lid on to keep it warm. Guys, you're going to want to have some crusty bread with this meal for sure. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley on top just for freshness and garnish. And alternatively, guys, what you can serve this with is something we call kajmak. And what kajmak is kind of like a clotted cream meets a cream cheese. If you can't find kajmak where you live, cream cheese will do, guys. Just give it a little bit of a whip. Place that on top. Whoop, come back here, you. And then nothing left to do but to dig in. I'm gonna have a taste of this, guys. I really don't like eating on camera, but I'm gonna taste it. It's nice and steamy. More love. Guys, the meat is so tender. Now, I promised you a vegetarian option. There's loads of beautiful vegan and vegetarian sausage out there. That would be a great stand-in. Or some extra firm tofu, but obviously you're not going to have to cook it as long. You could just double up on the veggies, use some Portobello mushrooms, which have a lovely, naturally vegetable meaty flavor. Oh. Don't miss out on the kajmak. And look at the gravy, nice and thick. Guys, thank you so much for watching this segment of Memories of Macedonia here with the Euro Cooking Canuck. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Please share my videos, like, comment. I comment back out to all of you. My Facebook page will be below. There'll be a few pics to follow. Guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Because I really need to eat this. We'll see you next time. Hvala mnogo, prijatno, ajde, ciao.